Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308. And today we have, I guess, a rather unique show, at least at this point. I'm flying solo. No co-host, no associate producer, just me and the topic wheel. No, I figured we would listen to an episode of How to Do Everything, the podcast, the spin-off podcast from wait, don't tell me. So yeah, I figured we'd do that. And, just generally shoot the breeze. Let me start today with today's ad reads. Of course, as always, we are in part brought to you by The Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville. On the Downtown Mall, 105 West Main Street. Pardon me. 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks between 10,000 Villages and Hamilton's, where the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. A great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds, eh, bud? And they do have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personal research, which is highly, highly biased. Check website for times and events. The website is thehiddenleafseville.com. Hi, Wasabi. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you for showing up. Great to see ya. And we are also today in part brought to you by Firehouse Organics, a craft cannabis farm, who sells their wares, whose products are available at the private sales events on Friday at the Hidden Leaf, on Friday evenings at the Hidden Leaf, and I think there's another private sales event, but I'm not sure. Click, 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 click. Zzz. Okay. Today we are going to be trying a couple of different things from Firehouse Organics. And, of course, we will be smoking a pre-roll from The Hidden Leaf. First thing we're going to try today is this strain called Pixie Sticks. And I'm very curious as to what it's going to taste like. I did not, however, roll one up for me, so we are going to see what it's like in a pipe. Firehouse Organics and the Hidden Leaf, mainly the Hidden Leaf, is trying to build this sort of a community space and a community of people who appreciate this. And Firehouse Organics is working to bring premium products to the consumer. And for as premium as they are, their prices are incredibly reasonable. But also, the Hidden Leaf is really trying to build a community. And I think that it is, a wonderful thing that they're doing. Being that I'm part of that community, of course, I'm going to like it. All right. Let's have a taste of these pixie sticks and see what this is. It has a citrusy sort of musky smell. It's something I really like. Very citrusy flavor, very grapefruit flavor. I really like it. Smokes nice and smooth, tasty. Very good. We will now move on to smoking a pre-roll from the Hidden Leaf while we listen and react to this episode of How to Do Everything, the spin-off show. The Discord chat is open, so if anybody feels like jumping in there, please feel free. Come on in, cause some chaos. We're not really trying to get anything done today. Just having some fun. Okay. Oh, that's... Trevor. Wrong button.
You sell and show up exactly the way...
Forth and Ian Chillog, and I have to tell you, honestly, this is one of my favorite episodes so far, because I'm in it. Now, longtime listeners may remember that back in the day, Mike and Ian used to drag me in to eat usually some terrible food, and this is, no spoilers, food related, and it really was one of the more fun things I've ever been able to do. Once again, listeners, remember, this show will not be in this feed forever, so be sure to get out of here and go listen to How to Do Everything on their own feed. And enjoy this latest episode of How to Do Everything with Peter Sagal.
Ooh.
About 10 years ago, the town of Espoo, Finland, had a problem with thousands of young people gathering on the beaches and committing crimes, some of them very serious crimes.
Inspector Hannu Vannanen had an idea to stop it. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. In Finland, in central Finland, they had used classical music in a shopping mall. The youth didn't like the classical music, so they evaded it. And then I'm a little odd in this police station. I suggested to the superiors that should we try to play the classical music at the beach, and we played it. The youth usually they gather there around 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Until the 1 a.m. the whole night, and we started the music at 4 or 5 p.m. So there wasn't youth already there, and the youth they did come in small groups, but they started to move one by one step, 2 steps, 3 steps away from the music. It wasn't loud. They could talk there, but I'm not sure what's the the problem with the classical music. But they did move.
It sounds like you just kind of changed the vibe of the beach to a place they didn't think was cool anymore.
What sort of pan flute music, then it's okay. And some of the older people came and they enjoyed like a pizza and wine or something with the classical music.
I guess that would be a danger.
This feels just so cliche. That just feels so cliche. Scare off the kids by playing by playing classical music. Ooh. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Like, I really just don't buy it. Like, it just feels wrong. I don't know. It feels ageist. It feels like buying into ageist propaganda, and I just am not here for it, you know? Wrong button.
In the classical music, you could be attracting too many old people.
Well, they warned us about that. My superiors also warned me about that, but that's not the case yet.
Yeah. Do you in your private personal life, do you listen to classical music?
Not much. Sorry about that.
So it kind of had the same effect on you, didn't it?
Well, it might have. It might have.
This is How to Do Everything. I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike.
You know, I also think it might have to do with what type of classical music they're playing, because there is some classical music that I would pretty much just be like, nah, I'm good. I mean, although off the top of my head, I really can't think of any classical music that I find repulsive or repellent. Even the stuff that I find not that interesting is fine in the background. For the most part, I think discordant atonal jazz might scare people off of the beach, because that's relatively inaccessible. But classical? No. Thing with atonal jazz is it would scare everyone off the beach, other than jazz lovers. And I don't see jazz lovers and the beach being a whole lot of, or not just jazz lovers, progressive jazz lovers and the beach being, that doesn't seem like a crossover. Just saying. It just felt kind of ageist.
Know how to fix the net at your basketball game. But first,
we got an email from Brian, which he sent from his seat at a minor league baseball game. Said he needed some help.
Brian, what can we help you with?
So right when I was watching a mascot race at the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs baseball game here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, they do a mascot race in the middle of one of their innings. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was like, how can I do this? And how hard are these costumes to run in?
What are the mascots that are racing?
So it's all pork-based characters. My favorite is Crispy Bacon, period bacon. A slice of bacon. Diggity is a hot dog. Hambone is a slice of ham. Hambone always loses. There's barbecue, that's a pulled pork sandwich. And then they added somebody recently, ribby, it's a rack of ribs. So there are 5.
Well, that actually raises a question that I have, Brian. So for Hambone, what is the shape of Hambone? If Hambone always loses, is that an issue because aerodynamically Hambone has more surface area?
That's a good point. I mean, Hambone is kind of what you would think, just like a hock of ham. Harder to move in that than, say, like a vertical hot dog. Although, I mean, you could argue that the hot dog could be hard because it could be very top heavy.
I've always wondered if it's rigged. Like if somebody at the top of the organization says, today
we're going to have to go
to
Allentown and
to
check
what
this out at some point.
Is it just like to give Crispy Bacon his due or her due?
Yeah. You all think that it's a real fair contest.
I want to ask JB about this. JB 1200.
But now that you say it, I mean, with the rise in sports gambling, you have to wonder if there's like an underbelly here.
Well, Brian, I think we have somebody who can help us here. The most treasured of all the mascot races is the Johnsonville famous racing sausages race at Milwaukee Brewers games.
Online with us now is their Italian sausage. And we've been told, I'm being completely serious.
Just a point of order. I do not want my sausages being able to run faster than me. I'm not wild about that because I'm not into fast food if it's so fast I can't catch it.
In certain terms, we've been told not to reveal the human identity of this sausage.
So, Italian sausage, how long have you been doing the sausage race?
I've been doing it for close to 15 years. So I've lost.
Ever since he got out of the sausage relocation program, or ever since he got into the sausage witness relocation program. That guy knows how the sausages are made.
I've lost track of how many races I've run. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm typically the Italian. I'm partial to the Italian. It's the costume I won my first race in, but we switch it up. Sometimes we'll hop into the bratwurst or the hot dog. We also have the Polish and the chorizo.
So is it? It's always
bet you
you,
running
and is
in
it
the
the
German
same
sausage
3 or 4 other
costume is
people
the
in the other
worst.
sausage costumes?
No, so we actually have anywhere from 30 to 50 people that do it. Yeah, I mean, it would be crazy to commit to every home game like that.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, we do mix it up. One of the most common questions we get is, well, is it fixed? Is the race predetermined? And I can tell you that absolutely not. We try. It is legit. It gets competitive. We are out there racing our butts off, and it's exhausting. I don't know
does
how
anybody
long it is,
ever
but
cheat?
we go from
Do they
the
squirt
opposing
mustard
dugout
in front of
to
the
all
other
the
sausage?
way past the home dugout and the camera well into the outfield. And in the summer months it is hot, it is sweaty, it is a physically demanding experience.
Is there
Italian
sausage on
sausage?
sausage
Which
violence?
of the sausages has an advantage?
I could watch some sausage
Generally,
on sausage violence.
we would say the 4 that are not chorizo, because the chorizo has the sombrero. That
that's
adds
just
some extra weight and some
that's
aerodynamic
racy-lacism
implications
right
that you have to factor in.
Sure. If you had the power to animate, if you had the power, Italian sausage, to animate all 5 sausages, you were given a gift, which of the 5 sausages, real sausages, would win a race?
I would have to say hot dog, because it's the most slender.
Yeah.
Not a lot of extra,
We're about to go into ad break. We will find out about the rest of why hot dogs win when we come back from ad break. In the meantime, let's consider some sausage jokes. Now that I'm trying to think of one, the only thing I can come up with is the German sausage worst jokes. That's not. I can do better. I can do better. Let's see. Okay. Unfortunately, all the jokes that come to mind are not jokes that are appropriate. I mean, they'd be appropriate for someone else to tell here, but not for me. Why didn't the vegetarian put a sweater on their puppy? 'Cause they don't like hot dogs. That's pretty bad. Why did they want to take the small sausage out of the chain? It was the weakest link. Yeesh. Well, welcome back from commercial. Those were not very good jokes that I came up with, but we'll move on anyway.
Not a lot of extra, weight to it.
Now, Mike a second ago accidentally said your name, which we've bleeped out.
And it was
very clear as we were setting up this interview that we were only to refer to you as Italian Sausage. We are to protect your identity, which we're happy to do. I am curious why that's important. Are they afraid that somebody is going to try and influence the sausage race by finding you in your human life? Or
I think it goes back to just sort of mascot code in general.
Yeah.
You go to Disney parks and they're always in character.
Yeah.
That's sort of how we look at it.
Mascot code.
Do you have a rival, either a rival sausage or a rival human inside of the sausage costume? Like, is there somebody you always want to beat?
Yeah, there have been some rivalries. I had a run-in with the chorizo once. So it was the 20th anniversary of the sausage race or something. It was a landmark day. It was a big deal. And tried to take an aggressive turn around home, and chorizo is kind of in the same line, and we bump and I fall and still managed to get back on my feet and finish third, but I happened to make it on SportsCenter's not top 10 for this.
How'd that feel?
It felt like something I wanted to share with everyone. Like, it didn't matter, it's like, and I asked people like, okay, I'm the not top 10. Do I want to be higher? Or I was number 8.
Oh yeah.
Like, if I'm going to be on the not top 10, don't I want to just go all the way for number 1, right? Like,
yeah.
Additionally, they had me fill out an injury report because I scraped my knee a little bit. So I had to fill out this injury report for, the club policy.
Yeah.
And there's this questionnaire. It's like, was another employee involved in the incident? And I said, yes, incidental contact with chorizo.
I mean, I have to
contact
ask,
with chorizo.
How can Mike and I?
That's my next rock album. That's like shoegaze jam band fusion rock right there. Incidental. What was it?
Get in.
Was another employee involved in the incident? And I said, yes, incidental contact with chorizo. I scraped my knee a little bit. So
incidental contact with chorizo.
Injury report for.
I have to ask.
Incidental contact with chorizo. Yeah, that should be a jam shoegaze fusion album. I like it.
How can Mike and I get in a sausage race? How do we do it? We will be there at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, you guys just say the word and we'll get you booked.
I gotta be honest, I didn't think that last part was gonna work, but we are going to Milwaukee to be sausages. You'll know we're there when we start speaking in hushed tones.
So this is how the sausage is made.
All right, we're at American Family Field where the Milwaukee Brewers play baseball. We're starting out at the tailgate. And I should say we invited Peter Sagal to join us here in Milwaukee. He is of course, usually our taste tester. I figure climbing into a sausage costume that has been worn by countless hot, sweaty people running as fast as they can, that counts as a taste test. There will be a flavor within.
It's definitely a sensory experience. Like you're going to sense things and smell things probably, and maybe even taste things depending on what you're doing in there.
I am extremely excited about this. This is in fact, I'm so excited about it, it's almost like a weird thing that you invited me to do it, because usually my attitude is dread but I'm very excited.
You think we're going to trick you at some point?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be this great. I mean, there has to be a catch.
Okay.
We'll find a way to meet your dread, I think.
Okay.
See,
So we're about to go back there.
this is the proper relationship between producer and talent. And I'd like to say, even though she's not here, Kat does this perfectly. She has great ideas for stuff we could do, but there always feels like there's going to be something involved that's, oh, why did I decide to do this? This is going to be something. Which means that she is a great associate producer. And again, I know she's not here right now, but shout out to Kat for being an amazing associate producer.
We've sat through 3 innings of this game, looking at the field on which we're about to run. What are you all feeling about it?
Growing anxiety.
You feel nervous?
Well, yeah, not just because of the game. There are a lot of people here. And you'll note that during every sort of interstitial moment, everybody's paying a lot of attention. Like they had that, find the coin or the whatever, the ball under the baseball hat animation. Everybody was playing. Everybody was shouting out their answer. They're going to be watching us.
But here's the thing, and if you didn't know this already, they're not going to know it's us.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
But you still might fall down.
That's exactly it. What if I, as whatever sausage ended up being, fall down? People will be telling for years. They'll say, "Oh, did you see that night? The Polish fell down. I was there that night." What do you guys think?
I'm not nervous. I have no expectation. I just want to finish.
It would be
Nina,
really
how are you feeling?
messed up if they put
growing
him
anxiety.
in the German
I'm just like dancing my
sausage.
chair a little bit more than I used to be. There are a ton of people here. The sausages also are like everywhere. Like so.
What sausage do you want to be?
Not chorizo. Anything but chorizo.
What do you want to be?
Anything but chorizo, which probably means I'm going to end up being the chorizo.
Peter, would you like to be the chorizo?
I would not like to be the chorizo.
Well, I'm sorry.
We can edit out where he said not.
We have some bad news, Peter.
Well, I figured. Let me show you a text that I sent to my friends. I was told to avoid the chorizo because you can't see them from under the hat, so I'll probably get the chorizo. I don't want to be the chorizo.
Okay, let's get to it. They take Hina, Mike, Peter, and me. They take us all down.
I don't want to be
beneath
the
stadium
chorizo.
to get our costumes.
Yeah, we
on.
figured. So
And,
you're going to be the
this
chorizo.
guy gives us this big spiel about the rules. A lot of it has to do with the mascot code.
Yeah, apparently, and I hadn't really thought about this. In retrospect, thinking back about my encounters with mascots, it makes a lot of sense. The thing they're most concerned about is breaking the illusion that in this case, the sausage, is in fact a sausage rather than a person in a sausage suit.
Well, I think we should reveal. So we're about to go out on the field here and actually do this race and see which of us triumphs. It's the 4 of us.
It sounds like mascotting sounds a lot like clowning. And I don't mean clowning in buffoonery, but I mean being a clown. It is a skill set, and clowning, does a lot of times rely on that willing suspension of disbelief, and that sort of not breaking the illusion, really sort of taking seriously the part you're playing, even if the part's not serious. And that's one of the things that, really sells clowning. Being able to to very to be able to play the character earnestly in ridiculous situations. When I think of clowning as a skill set, I think of it as being a very relatable human in a very ridiculous world. That's sort of how I see good clowning. That being said, I was never really a clown. I certainly never learned to be a clown. I never went to any clown schools, so I don't know the ins and outs of clowning. I just know what it looks like from the outside. All right, back to the show, friends.
Somebody from the Mets who was he took the role of hot dog.
I was Italian sausage. Ian, you were bratwurst.
I was Polish.
And that means there's only one person left to be chorizo.
Can we let the listeners guess who that was? Just for a moment? Should we do that?
All right, fans, time now for the Johnsonville famous racing sausage race. Wearing number 1, it's the Johnsonville bratwurst. Number 2, we have the Johnsonville Polish sausage. Wearing number 3, the Johnsonville Italian sausage. Wearing number 4, the Johnsonville hot dog. And number 5, it's the Johnsonville chorizo. All right, sausages, on your mark, get set, go. They're off and racing. The hot dog taking an early lead with the chorizo to the inside in second. It's the Polish in third. The bratwurst moving up now with the Italian trailing the field. They make the turn, and they're heading down the stretch. At least the hot dog is. He's all by himself tonight. It's the hot dog all alone at the wire.
Obviously, the hot dog.
Listening to that kind of made me hungry. Just saying.
The one of us that was not, the one person who was not one of us jumped out to a huge lead. If you're watching it on the Jumbotron, after about 5 seconds, none of us were even visible because he was so far ahead of us.
I was like, is that a false start? Did I miss the start? Because it just seemed so unlikely.
Exactly what I thought,
yeah.
You saw him too?
Oh, yeah.
I could barely focus on anything.
Running so quickly that I was like, there's just simply no way that they actually said go.
You know why I don't think I saw anybody? Because I was in last place. I just saw you guys. All I saw was Hina. And I just knew that I
hind
had to beat.
dog.
I couldn't be last.
The scenery
that's
never
where
changes.
the drama for the crowd was who was going to be last between Mike and Hina, because it was neck and neck for the bottom.
And I think I've seen video, and I do think we tied. The hot dog guy smoked us.
Completely. We were smoked sausages.
Ah, well played, Pete. Well played.
Hey, and if you have any questions you want us to answer, you can send them to us at howto@npr.org. That's our email address. And we promise we look at every email we receive.
If your question is that you are currently stuck inside of a bratwurst costume, I'll just tell you right now, just bend both of your elbows the other way, unlock your hips, and rotate your head 360 degrees.
This message comes from BetterHelp. Can you think of a time Halloween fun collaboration message comes from
rotating your head 360 degrees? Rotating your head 360 degrees will take care of most of your worldly problems. I don't recommend trying it, but it will end. most of your worldly problems, if not all. I really don't recommend it.
Take Michigan for granted. Then the state helped carry Donald Trump to the White House. All this week on the Consider This podcast from NPR.
Hey, it's Mike and Ian. We're the hosts of How to Do Everything from the team at Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Every week, we take your questions and find someone much smarter than us to answer them.
Questions like, how do I safely jump out of a moving vehicle?
How do I dangerously jump out of a moving vehicle? We can't
Don't
help
tuck
you,
and don't
but we
roll.
will find someone who can.
Listen to the How to Do Everything podcast from NPR.
Hey, we got some listener mail, some correspondence from you all that we would like to acknowledge. First up, we got something from Madeline. Just wanted to report back that I have never seen the movie The Champ, and when I heard the short snippet from the movie you played in the archive episode, I didn't cry. But when I heard Mike start crying, I unexpectedly started crying with full tears. I also have young kids, so maybe that's it.
Madeline, I feel your pain. I inspired your pain.
You caused
I caused your pain. I caused your pain with my pain. I have not watched The Champ in the years since we recorded that episode. Have you, Ian?
Well, no, I haven't, but I'll say listening back to our podcast episode in which I did not cry, in which I was completely stone-hearted.
Yeah.
I cried when I heard you cry.
Did you?
I did. I have kids. I didn't have them when we recorded that episode.
Yeah.
But you also caused my pain.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Here's another one. This is from Oliver. He's responding to our recent episode about things that are world famous. He's writing from Australia. He says, I will preface that I'm from the East Coast of Australia, but here we call the event of a hot dog sale a sausage sizzle,
okay,
and we call a hot dog itself a snag.
Okay, I don't think I would ever do that. I don't think I'd be comfortable ordering a Chicago-style snag.
I can say that I was just moments ago completely humiliated by a very fast snag.
Yeah, see, when you said that, I wasn't sure if we needed to mark this episode explicit or not.
Oh, we also want to point out one of our reviews on Apple Podcasts.
This is from Hydro Flask Water Bottle, who asks, do you guys actually read these?
Yes.
I think the answer is obviously yes.
No,
We
they
are
don't read them
currently
at
doing
all.
so. Yep. Hydro Flask Water Bottle.
The Cocoa Beach high school basketball team was playing a game, and the net went up through the hoop.
I know what I want to
and got
ask them.
stuck. The players kept...
I know what I want to ask them. I want to ask them what the unladen airspeed of a swallow is. African or European? I don't know. Now, both. I want to know the unladen airspeed of both. Yeah. You know, I do find it hard to take me seriously. That's,
jumping up to try and knock it down, but nothing was working.
The game was stopped. The game could not go on.
Broom
so
handle.
Bella Haley Jatana from the Cocoa Beach High School cheerleading squad. Can you tell us what you did?
Well, we were just sort of cheering like we would normally do, and then the game just sort of stops. It's like we were just watching them struggle for like a fat minute until we sort of realized wait, when we do pep rallies and stuff, my head goes past the rim. So we decided to, show off one of our skills and solve the problem at the same time, It was easy peasy.
Okay. For Mike and I, who don't know a lot about cheering, can you describe what you did?
So there was 3 of us. We had a back spot and 2 side bases.
Okay, those are fresh. That's fresh vocabulary for us here. Back spot, side bases.
So the girl that is the back spot, she is behind holding
Okay,
the
so
ankles.
basically what they're describing here, none of the boys on the basketball team could fix the net. So the cheerleaders did, we've all seen it, kind of a basic cheerleading pyramid with one of them way up in the air. And
we have an ad break starting in 30 seconds or so. So before we do that, I am going to start today's other pre-roll, one of these Apollo's pre-rolls that I got from Firehouse Organics. This time, we are trying the horchata, and it is a hybrid, sativa indica hybrid. Ooh, that smells good. We are about to be an ad break. But just remember, Firehouse Organics, available at the private sales events on Friday evenings at the Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks between 10,000 Villages and Hamilton's. And we will see you when you get back from commercial. Smooth, tasty. Something about the sausage race. It just... I feel like I would die laughing watching that, but I also feel like I would feel guilty about laughing about it, even though I shouldn't. You know, it's not... It's just... Watching people in ungainly costumes try to run and fall down and be ridiculous is hilarious. But it's, you know, it's not easy on the poor people in the costumes. And so I'm laughing at their pain. I feel like what we're about to talk about is sympathetic crying. That reaction that people have. You know, seeing someone else in pain causes you to have that sympathetic reaction. And sympathetic empathy. I think that's what I'd like to call that. Hello, friends. Welcome back from the ad break. And we're going to go ahead and get right back into the show.
Way up in the air. And she untangled the net.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Oh,
It was like actually tangled up in there, but they got me high enough so
we're talking about the cheerleaders dislodging the basketball. They got you high enough so that... What? I hope you're in a state where getting that high is legal.
high enough so I was able to clearly be able to untangle it.
How did the crowd react? Because it looks like you're just kind of doing your thing.
I think for a second they didn't, like, some of them didn't really realize what was, like, going on. And then, like, you heard one kid from the other, like, side go, like, oh! And, like, then, like, people started, like, clapping and stuff. So we were like, oh, wow, this is fun.
Did the boys on the team, did you sense that you had bruised any egos when they were unable to help and you were?
I mean, they just sort of went back into their game and sort of just let it go.
Yeah.
Sweep it under the rug like it never happened.
Yeah, there you go.
A funny piece of information is Bella's brother is actually on the basketball team. So his sister had to come out for the rescue. Pretty
Yeah. He was just standing there helplessly.
Bella, does your brother feel bad that you can probably dunk better than he can?
I don't think so. He's pretty close to dunking right now, so I think he's fine with it.
How many side bases does it take for him to dunk?
Maybe one or two.
There you go. There you go.
Have you all any other time in your life when you're not at a game cheerleading? Have you used your cheerleading skills to help out in other ways?
I actually use it sometimes at work. Instead of there being like, 3 bases, it's just me and the person that needs to, grab something from the top shelf. I just kind of make the same hand motion and just like lift them up a little bit.
Wow.
It still works like to help them up.
Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun.
That's
Thank
pretty
you guys.
cool.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Well, that does it for this week's show. What'd you learn, Ian?
I learned that the mascot code
That's why guys get
very
into
real.
cheerleading.
And people take
so
it
they can
very
pick
seriously.
up women.
Let me just ask you, was there ever a point when we were on the field, we're giving high fives, or we're doing our best to give high fives? Because
was
the fact
really
is,
bad,
because we
Trevor.
have no peripheral vision, and because I didn't feel comfortable turning, I couldn't actually turn to look at the people I was giving high fives in the stands. So there were a lot of phantom high fives.
All the fans are leaning through the netting that is up to catch foul balls. I was giving every high five I could. I got very nervous that my costume was going to become entangled in the netting. I saw it all happening. That then it would tear the costume from my body as my human self fell to the ground. Children everywhere. The mascot code would be broken. Children would see that there was a man within. There would just be
they'd stop
tears.
believing in Santa Claus and the Easter
You
Bunny.
think that's what people would say?
He's not the bratwurst we thought he was.
Ooh.
How to Do Everything is produced by Polish Sausage, Hina Shrivastava. Technical direction from Lorna White.
Our intern this week is the hot dog that beat us in the sausage race. Congratulations, hot dog.
Give us your questions at howto@npr.org. I'm Ian.
And I'm Mike. Thanks.
Thanks.
That was interesting. That was quite an interesting episode of that. I don't know what it's normally like, but that's because the first time I've listened to it. Huh. My gears are still a little ground by the Finland police playing classical music to scare off kids. It just feels so cliche and ageist that it's like, I don't know about that now. That just don't seem right. Not right, y'all. Well, I think we could go for another episode, but I think we're going to call it here, friends. I think trying to keep things short, having some episodes that are under, 2 hours, may be a good call. So, thank you for joining us. Stick around for the raid. Thank you, Wasabi, for your lurk. And now's the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. We're out, y'all.